Sky, aka Trigger Ranking. Basically back on content. About to run this Star Snitch talking about Mark Curry exposed to Steve Harvey, fears of Cat Williams.
He the principal.
He saw material on his show, so I had a beef on that. On what show? When he was on the bullshit talk show he had, and he did all my Halloween material one Halloween.
Says that you're still stealing his jokes.
Hey man, listen to me.
Yeah.
Now I'm getting sick of this right here.
Yeah.
Mark Curry need to grow up. Steve Harvey ain't been on stage since 2015.
You know, people want to jump up. Now, he didn't know, he didn't steal your. So yes, he did.
Yeah.
And so that there's no need to. No one else has did that.
Mm-hmm. Mark Curry just lit the match, and what he's saying about Steve Harvey has folks shook. Turns out Steve ain't just trading jokes with Cat Williams. He's terrified of him, and it's way deeper than anyone guessed. We're talking stolen spotlights, backdoor deals, and secrets Cat's been hinting at for years.
You don't do your material around a lot of comedians. That's like stealing in front of the police.
Now think about it. What happened to Bernie Mac? What happened to Mark Curry himself? Every comedian who got too close to the truth just started disappearing from the mainstream. So let's be real. Steve Harvey ain't just beefing with Cat. He's dodging him.
I used to be a fight, and I still got haters. They slow, but if you get up on me real close, I can still knock your south though.
This feud, it's not just a celebrity spat. It's a full-on war. The tension been simmering for a while, but it blew up when Cat walked into Club Shay Shay and dropped verbal bombs all over Shannon Sharp's show. Cat didn't just throw shots, he ripped Steve apart.
Chevy is called the heartbeat of America. Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependable truck will do.
And dropped verbal bombs all over Shannon Sharp's show. Cat didn't just throw shots, he ripped Steve apart, piece by piece. Fans were stunned, but most agreed. Cat came out swinging and left Steve bleeding. But Steve didn't just sit quiet, nope. He fired back with slick shade and little comments here and there.
Ass hater who is, man, you'll never have a hater that's doing better than you. Don't get off the walls and dress so any ass boy who ain't got.
But let's not get distracted. The real tea, it's hiding underneath all the laughs and headlines. Because here's the kicker. Most folks think it all kicked off during that viral Club Shay Shay interview. But nah, this beef goes way back. Real ones know the spark started flying years ago. And the 2017 Def Comedy Jam reunion?
Well, let me ask you this. When have you ever seen this many heavy hitters all together at the same time? Yeah. In the same room? Yeah.
Things got real awkward real fast, and it all went down when Dave Chappelle gave Cat Williams his flowers on stage. The crowd laughed, Cat was smiling, enjoying the moment. But Steve Harvey, he looked tight, like he didn't want Cat getting any shine, not even for a second. So what did Steve do? He tried to hijack the vibe by blurting out, "I'm nervous as hell right now." Like, what? Dave was locked in on praising Cat, but Steve was clearly scrambling to steal the moment back. And Dave wasn't letting up. He kept talking about how Cat deserved his flowers and kept the spotlight right where it belonged. That's when Steve jumped in again, asking, "When have you ever seen this many heavy hitters in the same room at the same time?" Another slick move to shift the energy, but folks weren't buying it. The fans might have missed the tension in real time, but people behind the scenes definitely clocked it. Insiders, including Mark Curry, were heated. They felt like Cat earned that respect, even without a mic in hand. He didn't need to be on stage to get his props. His impact speaks for itself. And yet, instead of uplifting a fellow comedian, Steve cut him off. Didn't even take a second to acknowledge Cat's legacy before trying to change the subject. Steve Harvey just had to jump in and snatch the spotlight again. And what made it even messier, he didn't even do it with style. His interruption came off awkward and desperate, like he was low-key jealous that Cat Williams was finally getting his moment.
It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Cat Williams gonna show up?
Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now.
But here's where it gets even more telling. It wasn't just Steve acting funny. Fans started side-eyeing Cedric the Entertainer too. That's right. Another comedy OG was moving real strange during Dave Chappelle's speech. While Dave was showing love to Cat, Cedric was over there fake laughing, looking all types of uncomfortable, like he was counting down the seconds till it was over. And when Steve jumped back in to talk over Cat's flowers, Cedric quickly backed him up with a dry yeah, like, okay, enough about Cat, let's switch gears. That move said a lot without saying much.
It's good to see so many funny people together in one room, all wondering the same thing. Is Cat Williams gonna show up?
Shit, I'm nervous as hell right now.
Now let's be clear, Cedric played it way more subtle than Steve, so your average viewer might have missed it. But people in the industry, they saw everything. And from what's being said, they were not impressed. Folks were disappointed that Cedric didn't even try to fake support. Instead, he co-signed Steve's whole shady attempt to shut down Cat's shine. And here's the wild part. This all went down back in 2017. That's years before Cat dragged both Steve and Cedric on Club Shay Shay. So you really gotta ask, why were these two legends acting so cold toward Cat way before the beef exploded publicly? Word is, they were scared of him, but not because they thought he'd swing on them. Nah, 30,000. Steve Harvey and Cedric the Entertainer weren't just uncomfortable, they were shook, terrified that Cat Williams might outshine them, take the spotlight, and expose everything they've been trying to hide. Go back and rewatch that Def Comedy Jam moment. Steve straight up says, "I'm terrified" on stage. And it wasn't a joke, dude was dead serious. He knew Cat had the crowd, the talent, and the respect, and that scared him bad. Word on the street, Steve ain't just playing nice when it comes to Cat, he's flat out scared. Mark Curry didn't hold back either. He supposedly spilled the tea behind the scenes, saying Steve and Cedric been ducking Cat for years, and for one simple reason, Cat's just better.
He did to me.
And let's not act like Cat's been silent, no way.
Just a hypothetical question. Who y'all think better, Cat or Steve Harvey? For me, I think Cat Williams is way funnier than him, hands down.
During that wild sit-down with Shannon Sharp on Club Shay Shay, Cat came with a vengeance. He name-dropped, he threw shots, and then he dropped a bombshell about a showdown most people forgot even happened. His battle with Steve Harvey back in 2008.
That was a tick.
This wasn't no friendly face-off either. It went down at the Championship of Comedy, and even though it wasn't officially billed as a battle, Cat made sure it turned into one. He got up on that stage and went off. He lit Steve up with joke after joke, especially about Steve's hairline, calling him out for rocking a man's wig and pretending to have a fade on national TV.
All these years you got them far for me. Fast and talking head, shaking shit. Talk to the hand, talk to the hand.
People were obsessed with Steve Harvey's hair back in the day. That crispy high top fade, it was like a cheat code. Men were jealous, women were impressed, and barbers everywhere were catching heat because no one could match that perfect lineup. His hair wasn't just a style, it was a statement. That fade was the crown jewel of his whole TV persona. And when Steve stepped in a room, heads definitely turned. But when Cat Williams clowned him for it, oh, that cut deep. This wasn't just a joke about hair. Cat went for the jugular. He was coming for Steve's ego, his image, and that pride he built up over years in the spotlight. Cat didn't just roast him, he exposed him. And guess what?
I went back to
The
sleep and
impact
woke
was
up.
real. After that infamous night, Steve dropped the whip.
I went back to sleep and woke up. Blitzo.
And went full ball. No more hiding behind the illusion, he had to face the truth. Cat called it out in front of everybody, and Steve had no choice but to own it. Nowadays, Steve's bald head and that sharp mustache are part of his brand. He made it work. But let's not forget, back then he was hiding. That hair was fake.
Damn. Hold on, y'all. Got a commercial. Let it slide through. Give me a second.
Hey, real quick, how would you find the answer in all this data?
You get
Back then he was hiding. That hair was fake. And Cat made sure the world knew it. And
What's
here's
up?
the real kicker. According to Cat, that one savage roast was enough to make Steve quit stand-up comedy altogether. If that's true, then no wonder Steve gets jumpy every time Cat Williams' name pops up. I mean, how would you feel seeing the dude who basically roasted you into early retirement? That's not the kind of L you just forget. And don't be fooled, Steve ain't over it, not even close. Fast forward 9 years later to 2017 at the Def Comedy Jam 25 reunion, and what happens? Dave Chappelle cracks a little joke about Cat, and boom, Steve's whole vibe changes. Folks watching say he got visibly nervous. So can you blame him? When someone cooks you that bad on stage, just hearing their name might trigger a flashback.
And he did all my Halloween material one Halloween. I'm watching that. Somebody called me and said, man, homeboy doing your material. So he did my whole Halloween run. And I know he didn't think of it. And this is true stuff that really happened to me.
Now let's talk about Cedric the Entertainer. His drama with Cat, way more under the radar, but just as messy. Most fans had no idea these two had beef until Cat dropped the receipts on Club Shay Shay. Cat straight up accused Cedric of stealing one of his best jokes, his signature closer, the one that used to bring the house down every night. Cat said he specifically told Cedric not to take it. But what did Ced do? According to Cat, he pulled up to the Comedy Store, watched him crush the crowd with that joke, loved it, congratulated him, and then allegedly stole it anyway. A few years after dapping Cat up for that joke, Cedric flipped the script. He went on Kings of Comedy and dropped the exact same joke, almost word for word. Only difference? He swapped out Cat's car for a spaceship. That's it. No major twist, no remix, just a straight up repackaged punchline. And Cat? Oh, he wasn't letting that slide. He torched Cedric, calling him a talentless walrus who couldn't sing, couldn't dance, and sure as hell couldn't write a joke if his life depended on it. But he didn't stop there. Cat dragged Cedric's whole catalog, calling his comedy specials so weak they couldn't even land on Netflix. Or Tubi. That's cold. Now some folks might say Cat's being too harsh, but when you stack up the receipts, maybe he's got a point. The man's been throwing heavy claims, not just at Cedric, but at Steve Harvey too. And these accusations go way beyond stolen jokes. Cat even suggested there was a plot behind the scenes, a conspiracy to hold down none other than the late Bernie Mac. According to Cat, Steve, Cedric, and Ricky Smiley were all smiles in public with Bernie. But secretly, they were hating hard and trying to block his shine. He said Steve was jealous of Bernie's acting game because, let's be real, Hollywood wasn't banging down Steve's door for serious roles back then. And get this, Cat claimed the Kings of Comedy purposely put Bernie first in their lineup, just to make Steve look like the star as the closer. Thought Bernie would warm up the crowd, but he stole the whole show instead. But here's the real twist.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were.
I don't know what we are.
When it came time to edit the Kings of Comedy footage, the producers didn't play by the crew's rules. They flipped the whole lineup. Bernie Mac's set got moved to the end because he was the funniest one on stage, period.
That's why he had to close it out. Hey.
To make Steve look like the star of the show.
That nigga like Shakira Richardson, that's why they had her at the end of the line. They got the first three runners, it's 4 runners, when they doing the relay. But that last one, yeah, when Shakira get that, I'm talking about, I don't care if we was lying. Shakira Richardson, she gonna walk them folk down, bro. I'm talking about she gonna put that head up and she might look like this and keep going on your pussy head, like.
And while it might sound like just another wild conspiracy, Cat's claims weren't just coming out of thin air, because guess who backed him up? DJ Ed Lover, a man who was close to Bernie Mac himself. According to Ed, Bernie personally told him about the shady games going on behind the scenes. Bernie believed Steve was actively undermining him, especially when Steve allegedly tried to steal a role from him in Ocean's 11. That wasn't just some petty move, that was career sabotage. Bernie didn't hold back. He told Ed that Steve was not to be trusted. And once you start connecting the dot, it becomes real clear why Steve gets so nervous when Cat's in the building. The pattern is hard to ignore. From stealing jokes to backdoor moves, Steve, Cedric, and their crew have been accused of stepping on anyone in their way to protect their shine. Cat's not the only one who's
I gotta
he's
get
one
that
of the
pitch.
very few who actually calls it out. It was not to be trusted.
get that
And once you start connecting the dot, it becomes real clear why Steve gets so nervous when Cat's in the building. The pattern is hard to ignore. From stealing jokes to backdoor moves, Steve, Cedric, and their crew have been accused of stepping on anyone in their way to protect their shine. Cat's not the only one who's peeped it, but he's one of the very few who actually calls it out. Most comedians just stay silent, choosing to protect their own careers and play the game. Bernie Mac, he knew what was going on, but he didn't want to stir up too much heat. He kept it classy. But Cat, that man's never bit his tongue for nobody. When he sees snakes in the grass, he says it loud, public, and with receipts. That's exactly why Steve, Cedric, and the rest of that clique stay looking shaky when Cat's name gets mentioned. And best believe, Cat ain't the only one accusing Steve Harvey of stealing jokes either. Veteran comedian Mark Curry didn't stay silent either. He stepped up and claimed Steve Harvey stole one of his jokes too. And the way it went down, straight disrespectful. Mark said he was chilling at home when a friend called him up like, yo, turn on the TV, Steve's doing your bit. So Mark flips on the screen. And boom, there's Steve Harvey, live on stage performing one of Mark's signature jokes from back in 1999. The exact same routine Mark had already done during his Comedy Central Present stand-up special, word for word. So of course Mark confronted him about it. And what did Steve do? He denied everything, told Mark to bring receipts if he was gonna make accusations like that. He even hit back saying, I've never stolen a joke in 35 years. If you got a problem, come say it to my face like a man. That might have worked on some folks. But Mark's fans weren't having it.
Yeah, that's I mean, stealing anything intellectual, like intellectually stealing something like property and shit, that shit ain't cool, bro. At all. That shit ain't cool, bro. Cause you don't know, some people they draw from past experiences, painful things they've been through. Yeah, it's just best to be original. That's it. Best to be original. Best to be your own entity. Like, you know, I be trying to help folks, but some folks they don't, you know, they don't want to accept the help. So I just be like, fuck them, bro. Like, y'all know who I'm talking about.
Pulled out the receipts, and yep, the joke was real. The whole routine was about growing up broke and rocking Halloween costumes. Mark had already done that joke in the 90s. It was one of the most recognized bits. But somehow, years later, Steve popped up telling the same exact story on his show, Little Big Shots. Even using the same setup, grew up poor, had to wear wild costumes on Halloween.
We are for gamers who want to learn how to become video game testers, designers, and programmers. If any of these interest you, then swipe to the left to see if you
Using the same setup, grew up poor, had to wear wild costumes on Halloween.
Halloween was a trip. Halloween, we couldn't afford no Halloween costumes. Hey, kids, please. Mama sent us down to the liquor store, put boxes on us. We didn't know what we were.
I don't know what we are.
During a Raw interview on Willie D Live, Mark Curry didn't hold back. He laid it all out about Steve Harvey stealing his jokes. But here's what made it even wilder. Curry said Steve didn't do it for the money. He did it because he wanted to be like him. Straight up envy. Curry didn't even mention Steve's name at first. Instead, he kept it general, talking about how common joke theft is in the comedy world. He even compared it to what happens in the rap game, saying, yeah, rappers might touch on the same subjects, but their delivery, flow, and bars make them unique. But stand-up, that's a whole different ballgame. Curry made it clear, when a comic steals material, it puts the original creator in a tight spot. You either stay silent and take the L, or you step up and call out. And Curry wasn't about to stay quiet. He sent a warning to Steve. I'ma step to you if you're stealing my set. F you. I step to you. He made it known. It's not about throwing hands, but about respect. That line, that was personal. Curry told Willie D he takes serious pride in writing his own jokes. He goes out of his way to craft routines on topics. And because his jokes are one of a kind, Curry said it's easy to spot when Steve slides in and tries to pass them off as his own. And that's how Mark Curry caught Steve Harvey slipping, by recognizing pieces of his own jokes coming out of Steve's mouth. Curry even tried to give him a little benefit of the doubt at first. He told Willie D, maybe it wasn't Steve directly. Maybe one of his writers jacked it. But let's keep it real. We all know where that material came from. He wasn't stealing the money either. Curry said Harvey got plenty of money, so this ain't about cash. It's about style. It's about respect. Then he hit him with the real burn. You want some of me? You want to be me? Then guess what? You ain't got enough money to buy that.
Let Ricky switch up.
Curry doubled down, calling himself a G in the game and basically telling Steve, you want my flavor? You want my presence? You want my legacy? But of course, Steve Harvey clapped back and he didn't hold his tongue either. He told Mark Curry to grow up and stop making things up for attention. Steve dismissed the whole thing, saying, I've been out of the stand-up game for years. I haven't been on stage since 2015. I don't know what this old G talking about. I'm at peace. But fans weren't buying. Plenty of them believed Curry was telling the truth. They felt the way Steve kept brushing it off, refusing to really address the details, made it seem like he had something to hide. At the end of the day, Mark wasn't just claiming joke theft. He was calling out a pattern, a whole vibe. And the way he said it, it hit hard. You don't want my material. You want to be me. Fans didn't just stop at the stolen jokes. They went even deeper. A bunch of people pointed out that Steve Harvey didn't just lift Mark Curry's material. He allegedly jacked his whole show too. That's right. People believe Steve straight up copied Hanging with Mr. Cooper when he launched the Steve Harvey Show. And guess who co-signed that tape? Cat Williams. During that explosive sit-down with Shannon Sharp, Cat flat out said, that's the same Steve who sat in the audience watching Mark Curry perform his sitcom, then turned around and stole everything Curry had. According to Cat, there's a whole secret circle of comedians in Hollywood who make their name by snatching other people's shine. Jokes, characters, even full-blown acting roles. It's cutthroat, shady, and more common than most folks.
But earlier they were talking about rapper shit. It's rap nigga, they'll steal the whole damn song, like, word for word, bro. You think they wrote shit.
But here's the kicker. Every one of those dudes, they're terrified of Cat Williams. Why? Because Cat ain't scared to call them out by name. And speaking of names, Cat didn't forget to drag Ricky Smiley into the mess too. Even though Ricky didn't show up to that 2017 Def Comedy Jam reunion, Cat still aired him out on Club Shay Shay. Cat accused Ricky of spreading lies during his own Club Shay interview. Smiley had claimed that he was originally cast to play Money Mike in Friday After Next, and that Cat only landed the role after something changed behind the scenes. But Cat called cap on all of that. He said Ricky made the whole thing up and was never in the running.
Who it happens to?
According to Cat, there was no switch up. He was always the pick. This man told y'all he had my role. That's what Cat Williams said, loud and unfiltered. He wasn't biting his tongue for nobody. Cat called out Ricky Smiley directly, mocking his claim that he was originally cast as Money Mike while Cat was supposedly set to play Santa Claus. Cat clapped back hard. Let's get the facts straight. He broke it down, said all of them auditioned in LA and he was number 201. That means 200 other black comedians were in that building going for the same role. But now Ricky's trying to act like it was his part from day one and that he had already started filming.
Like
Boys, bye. But wait, it gets way messy. Cat dropped a bombshell about the original R-rated scene in the script. In this version, a group of guys jumps Money Mike as revenge for something he did. Cat said Ricky Smiley was cool with filming that wild scene, no hesitation. But when Cat got the script, he shut it down. He wasn't about to co-sign that kind of scene, especially not with that energy. He took a stand and refused to play the character that way. And it wasn't just about the script. Cat said Ricky was walking around like he ran the place, acting like he was already a Hollywood heavyweight, like he was the radio king, the comedy genius, the real Money Mike, trying to convince everyone he deserved that spotlight more than Cat. But Cat wasn't having it. He saw straight through Ricky's act and made a bold move. He was so fed up with Ricky's energy that he added a wild condition to his contract, just to make sure Ricky wouldn't get near that set. Cat Williams was so done with Ricky Smiley's antics, he threw down a wild condition. He said he wouldn't work with Ricky ever again, unless Smiley agreed to wear a dress. And here's where it gets downright ironic, because what happened next? Ricky Smiley's next major movie role was as Bernice Jenkins, an elderly church lady in First Sunday. And yep, you guessed it, he wore a dress. Cat couldn't help but laugh out loud at the whole thing. The timing, too perfect. Now think about this. If Cat really had that kind of pull, to the point where Ricky had to wear a dress just to stay in the game, it's not hard to understand why folks believe Smiley might be shook. Imagine someone having that much influence over your Hollywood future, pulling strings like a puppet master. That's a different level of power. Of course, Ricky wasn't about to let that narrative fly. He came back swinging, using his January 4th episode of the Ricky Smiley Morning Show to try and set the record straight. According to Ricky, there was no plot, no shady backdoor switch up. He claimed it was director David E. Talbot who personally picked him to play the Bernice Jenkins character in First Sunday. Smiley even gave Cat some love, saying he respected his performance as Money Mike and wasn't trying to steal the spotlight. Ricky broke it down clear. I went out to audition for Friday After Next as Money Mike, not Santa Claus. That's the honest truth. But then, Ricky took it a step further. He dropped some behind-the-scenes tea about how the Money Mike character really came to life. According to Ricky Smiley, the character Money Mike wasn't even supposed to be a pimp at first. He claimed the original version was written as a broke panhandler chilling in a strip mall parking.
But that doesn't go with the story though. Like that doesn't make sense. Like Money Mike will be a broke
style.
I don't get it. That's okay. You should have put Felicia back in the damn movie. I mean, what the hell?
Substance.
That ain't made no sense to me, bro.
In the
that
Sierra. Or it's your
perspective. Listen to this shit. Listen to this now.
Drop some behind-the-scenes tea about.
So Ricky Smiley saying that Money Mike from Friday was supposed to be a broke homeless man. It don't like they don't fit, bro. Like that sound like a damn lie. But we're gonna listen.
How the Money Mike character really came to life. According to Ricky Smiley, the character Money Mike wasn't even supposed to be a pimp at first. He claimed the original version was written as a broke panhandler chilling in a strip mall parking lot. But once Cat Williams and the producers got involved, they flipped the script and transformed Money Mike into that flashy, over-the-top, scene-stealing pimp fans know and love. Even Ricky admitted they made it way funnier. But as for Cat's wild claim that he forced Ricky to wear a dress through a contract clause, Smiley wasn't having it. He shut that all the way down, said there was never any such clause. He insisted that when he put on that church lady dress in First Sunday, it was his choice, not Cat's demand. Smiley broke it down, saying he wasn't the first comic to throw on a wig and heels for a laugh. Flip Wilson had Geraldine. Richard Pryor played different characters on his show. Jamie Foxx had Wanda. Martin Lawrence gave us Shinanay. And of course, Tyler Perry built an empire in Medea. Ricky said, there's a long line of comedy greats who did characters for the sake of fun. It's entertainment. That's it. He made it clear. Nobody wants to wear a dress just for kicks. Nobody is comfortable in it. It has nothing to do with my manhood being lessened. That's what Ricky Smiley said to defend himself. But not everyone was buying it. A whole lot of fans feel like there's something deeper, something darker, when it comes to male comedians wearing dresses in Hollywood. Some folks believe it's part of a secret initiation, maybe even tied to the Illuminati. Others think it's a way Hollywood breaks strong black men, forcing them into roles meant to humiliate and entertain. For many, this doesn't feel like just comedy. It feels like a calculated move to mock and disempower. And maybe that's why Steve Harvey, Cedric the Entertainer, and Ricky Smiley all seem so uncomfortable whenever Cat Williams is brought up. Because here's the truth. Cat ain't playing by their rules. He's not staying quiet. He's not bowing down. And in an industry where silence is expected, one man who refuses to shut up becomes a threat. Mark Curry said it best. Steve Harvey has every reason to be scared. Because if the truth ever fully comes out, it won't just be the end of a beat, it could be the collapse of a whole legacy. So what do you think? Is Cat Williams just stirring the pot, or is he finally putting the truth in the spotlight? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Don't forget.
All right, this is a different channel. It's like some of the same content.
Some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes, and to see them attack, oh, I wouldn't have let him do this, I wouldn't have said that.
I was like, people having me. They aren't my problems.
Hold on, y'all.
So the idea of being petty or going back and forth, it's so beneath me.
Before we get deep into the video is by, let me subscribe to them too. The video is by Whisper Wire. Spelled just like how it is, but it's connected. Whisper Wire.
I don't have the problem. And
why do white people pay so much attention to black people if they don't like them? You would think if you didn't like something, why would you be paying attention to it?
Kevin Hart might be Hollywood's comedy king, but that cheesy grin and those Instagram gym clips, all just a front. Behind the scenes, he's been moving slick, and now things are getting real messy. Shannon Sharp just got caught in the crossfire, and this ain't no basic celebrity feud. It's a full-on power grab happening right in front of us. He lost a massive $100 million deal, got slapped with one of the nastiest lawsuits of the year, and now a 19-year-old OnlyFans model is accusing him of some seriously twisted behavior. It's wild, but here's the twist that nobody saw coming. Cat Williams just jumped in and pointed fingers straight at Kevin Hart. And what he's saying, it lines up way too well. According to Cat, this isn't some random scandal. This was a setup from the jump. And when you break it all down, the pieces fit way too perfectly. Cat's been calling out Kevin for years, but now the dots are finally connecting. Every time Kevin hits another level of success, another black entertainer just happens to get pushed out. Coincidence? Cat doesn't think so. Kevin's been climbing that Hollywood ladder with a smile on his face. But what if he's been quietly knocking down the very same for him? Let's not act brand new. This drama didn't just fall out the sky. Cat has never rocked with Kevin, and he's made that loud and clear. This beef didn't start with that Club Shay Shay interview. That was just the explosion after years of quiet attention. Back in the 2000s, Cat was the one holding the spotlight. He had the streets buzzing, comedy shows sold out, and movie roles lined up. But out of nowhere, those roles started disappearing. And guess who popped up in them? Kevin Hart. Cat still swears Kevin didn't climb to the top on talent. He slid in through the back door while others were getting cut out. Let's keep it real. Kevin Hart didn't just rise to the top, he was placed there. He came into Hollywood with that flop movie Soul Plane. And instead of getting laughed out of the game, he somehow landed a TV show, back-to-back movie deals, and became the go-to guy for family comedies and big brand endorsements. How does that even happen after a flop like that? Meanwhile, Cat Williams was out here getting painted like a straight-up train wreck. The media had him labeled as a crackhead, always on the edge of a breakdown. But Cat says it wasn't a meltdown, it was a setup. And who came up every time he got knocked down? Kevin. Now jump to the 2010s, when Hollywood started flipping the switch. Remember that era when every black comedian was suddenly rocking wigs and heels for laughs? It was like a trend. Kevin once said loud and clear that he'd never wear a dress on screen.
Dave Chappelle, another great comedian, said that, you know, in the industry, they tried to make him wear a dress. Have you ever ran into that with scripts? And is this something that, you know, you wouldn't do, you know, for?
I definitely haven't ran into to put on the dress. I mean, you know, you have to have boundaries. You have to have.
Right after this interview, this man ran to Saturday Night Live and put on a damn dress.
Limits that you refuse to cross. You know, for me, I know what they are. They've yet to been challenged, so, you know, I don't have to speak on them. I was asked to dribble a basketball on the talk show this morning. Like, you said no to that. That was a dress, but I was like, no, I'm a little stupid. At the end of the day, you gotta know that you're a brand.
Sounded like he was
Damn, son.
solid.
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and background. So you can watch videos.
But up on SNL in a dress like it was nothing. At the same time, Dave Chappelle had just gone viral talking to Oprah, saying he refused to wear a dress because he didn't want to be used as a joke to entertain powerful Hollywood execs.
He put this dress on, and what? How can? Nah, I'm not doing that. I don't feel comfortable with that. That should have been in the discussion. What? You don't feel comfortable with it? I mean, it's a hilarious bit. All the greats have done it. So, well, if all the greats have done it, it's kind of hacky, right? You're right. So why don't we just not do it? Because I don't feel comfortable wearing a dress. Oh, come on, Dave. Listen, we got it all set up. We're supposed to shoot. Every minute you waste costs this much money. You know, the pressure comes in. He said, no.
No, I'm not gonna do it.
Damn, son.
I wear no dress, man. I'm funnier than a dress. Just give me something funny to say. I don't even wear no dress to be funny.
That hit hard. So when Kevin popped out in a dress right after that, Cat saw it. As a sign, to him, Kevin wasn't just selling out. He was sticking to the script laid out by the industry. And it didn't stop there. Back when Cat was at the top of his game, the media started blasting stories that he was unstable, wild and out, and on something heavy. But Cat says that was never the truth. That was the smear campaign. But when you...
Yeah, like, anybody can say anything about you, but bro, like, it's not even...
really look at it, most of the wild stories about Cat didn't come from the cops.
So look at this. I don't know what kind of accolades, what's his name? Kevin Hart got. But as a comedian, Cat Williams got like I forget, was it an Oscar? I think he won like an Oscar for what he played in the Atlanta series. Yeah, so I mean, some people work different. Some people can't work with everybody. Some people ain't with the bullshit. Some people all about getting to the money, getting the shit right, instead of all that playing and shit. And like, some people don't know how to deal with that shit, even though he a comedian.
They came from behind the scenes PR machines. It wasn't about arrests or real charges. It was spin. Then Kevin went on The Breakfast Club and pretty much blamed Cat for ruining his own career.
Good or bad? This and this. When do you take responsibility for your actions? You had the shot.
Cat was in that position at one point.
You were the guy.
Yeah.
You were set up to be the star. You didn't show up to work. You f***ed off promo shoots. You f***ed off your promo fucking trips that they had set up for you. You became a risk to the studios, which is why the studios fucking with.
Like Cat tripped himself up, and Kevin didn't stop there.
What was he a risk?
He chose drugs.
Oh, okay.
Take responsibility for what you chose and say, you know what, I gotta fix me, and I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna stand up for comedy.
He kept pushing the same narrative, hard. But here's the question. Why was Kevin throwing so much heat at someone who wasn't even in his lane anymore? That's where the real conspiracy kicks in. A lot of folks believe Kevin wasn't just clapping back. He was trying to erase Cat completely. Let's not pretend we don't know how the industry moves. They love someone who plays the game, follows orders, stays quiet. Kevin fit the role perfectly. But Cat, he wasn't with the program, and he definitely wasn't staying silent about it. When those drug rumors got thrown around, Cat clapped back hard.
44 years old. I get my blood tested every 3 months for the last 15 years. All narcotic tests have come up 0.00%. You look up my rap sheet. I've never had a DUI or a possession of anything. See, when you real, you can tell the truth about anything or anybody. I answer to no one but God.
He even claimed that roles originally written for him were handed straight to Kevin after he refused to shoot scenes that involved assault or made black men look weak or foolish. One of the wildest examples, Friday After Next. Cat says they tried to force him into filming a scene where his character gets assaulted in a bathroom. He stood his ground and said no. And what was the reward? Hollywood blacklisted him. Meanwhile, Kevin, who reportedly had no issue taking on roles like that, ended up getting offered the next big parts. Now fast forward to 2024, Cat Williams jumps on Club Shay Shay, Shannon Sharp's podcast, and drops what might be the most viral interview of the year. And the part that had people gasping, he went all the way in on Kevin Hart again.
Repetitions of these words.
Everyone thought Kevin Hart would fire back at Cat Williams directly after that explosive podcast, but he stayed quiet at first.
I told you.
Then, out of nowhere during an NBA broadcast, Kevin started cracking strange off-topic jokes about Cat.
Another fun fact about the New York Knicks, I don't know if you guys know this, but Cat Williams bought the Knicks.
He definitely bought it.
He bought the Knicks,
Yeah.
and it's rumored that he took the Knicks back, returned them with a receipt.
Yeah, you can do that. You didn't know you could do
the
that.
first person ever did.
Yeah. Oh, it gave him a 30-day policy.
He bought them for 15 days.
And returned it.
Yeah. That's another fun fact about the New York Knicks.
He made the team.
He played.
He played. Oh, he played.
He played with the Knicks. He played with them.
Well, you know he's fast. They say he's fast.
Yeah,
he run
he's one of the fastest.
3.9.
What you say?
3.9. He figured out how to play basketball from reading all the books.
3,000 of them.
3,000 a year.
And a year.
And that's 2 a day. That's 6 years old.
It was weird, but fans picked up on it real quick. This wasn't comedy, it was shade in disguise. People realized Kevin was using primetime TV to take slick shots at Cat, trying to clown him without saying his name. But what nobody saw coming, Shannon Sharp getting dragged into the chaos. Right after that Club Shay episode went viral, things started falling apart for him. Fast. Deals started disappearing.
Some people that I've kind of helped behind the scenes, and to see them attack, oh, I wouldn't have let him do this, I wouldn't have said that. But you know what? It took me a long time, Cam. Because when you play sports, you understand.
Guests bailed on scheduled appearances.
Cat Williams told him though. That's one of the things he said. He said after the
You're watching a
after they did the interview.
But did you know?
He said,
scheduled appearances.
He said basically he told him, he said, hey bro, there's gonna be some people that after this interview, bro, he said, you know, it's gonna be some people, it's gonna change some things, the way they handle you, bro, because you know what I'm saying. This interview, Cat Williams knew what he was doing, but I don't think Shannon Sharp even thought he was gonna walk into something that powerful, bro. That interview was powerful, man, like powerful.
Act off like they didn't even know him.
I have a little resentment towards you because you beat their team, right? Or you know, certain fan base is gonna feel a certain type of way, and I feel that the better the player, the more vitriol and hate he's gonna get from opposing fans. I got that. But in this situation, I can honestly say I did not expect the level of vitriol and the suddenness. That's what really got me, the suddenness.
And then, boom, a lawsuit came out of nowhere like a wrecking ball. A 19-year-old OnlyFans model named Gabriella Zuniga accused Shannon of some serious disturbing behavior. The internet went wild. Some fans were in disbelief, but others, they said the warning signs were right there in plain sight. During that same podcast, Cat actually warned Shannon straight up. He told him that Hollywood gatekeepers don't play fair.
I just mentioned I did them both.
And that Shannon was making it way too easy for them to twist the narrative. Shannon had been real open about his lifestyle.
Date your age. Well, I want to date my wage. I'm gonna shut all this ish down tonight. I want to date my wage.
Stay right here.
Where y'all at? Hey, Chad, where they at?
And he did it more than once.
Women trying to shame older men in the picture deal. Because see, that's the competition. Older women ain't the competition with older women. It's them young ones.
Right.
It's them young ones that hunt. Yeah. That'll do what you want.
Yeah.
Ain't nobody gonna tell me I did the ending. I pay my bill. I pay the cost to be the boss. You the boss by yourself.
He kept talking about being single, living wild.
I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. I'm looking for a sinner. Send me Miss Nasty B. What's her name was? The one that you nasty B, brother? Be nasty. Yeah, I'm looking for. I don't want nobody walking straight and narrow.
Oh, come on.
No.
And his younger women. And not just once either. He even joked about it like it was no big deal. And to make things more heated, Kat even told him to be careful dating white women.
That was knock.
Like he knew that. Now the whole thing's looking like a trap that was waiting to snap. Now all of that talk, it turned into straight up ammo. And with Gabriella's lawsuit hitting like a truck, Cat Williams is convinced Shannon Sharp walked right to a setup. Let's break down this wild case that came out of nowhere. Shannon is now facing a massive $50 million lawsuit from a 9-year-old woman named...
$50 million? That bitch Chelsea Clinton looks. $50 million.
Gabriella Zuniga. But don't get it twisted. She wasn't just some random follower or somebody he bumped into by accident. Gabriella was an OnlyFans model, going by the name She Is Carly online. Word is, Shannon met her at a gym and started linking up with her last year, when he was 54. Now here's where it gets real dark. Gabriella's lawsuit didn't just throw vague claims. She came in heavy, with graphic, serious accusations. According to her, Shannon lured her into a secret relationship, pressured her into disturbing race-related role play, made violent threats, groped her repeatedly, and even filmed her without consent. She's also saying...
But they was together for 2 years, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not condoning any type of anything wrong towards any women at all. But I'm just saying it's almost like the Cassie thing. Cassie did get her tail beat. She got her tail whooped by Diddy. Now, those are facts. That was definitely wrong by Diddy. But you stayed with the man 9 years. After you left him, got married, you went back to the man. So, like, I mean, is you scared or what? Like, you might, she might like, I don't know. I'm not trying to be insensitive, but I'm just saying.
Shannon figured out a way to sneak into her building without permission, and once even threatened to kill her if she tried to reach out for help. That's the level we're talking about. The timing of it all, Sketchy doesn't even begin to cover it. This lawsuit hit just as Shannon was wrapping up a reported $100 million media deal. Fans instantly started raising eyebrows. Like, how does that lawsuit land right when he's about to level up?
Week before.
Too perfect to be a coincidence. Man. And here's where it really starts to
y'all fucked the man money up.
People began asking the real questions. How did Gabriella even end up in Shannon's orbit? And how did her legal team move so fast and come out swinging with such serious support? This ain't looking random, it's feeling orchestrated. That's when things took an even crazier turn. The name Jaguar Wright popped up, and what she dropped, straight bombshell. Jaguar claimed Gabriella wasn't just some thirsty influencer. She was deeply connected to Hollywood power, specifically the Zuniga family. Yeah, that Zuniga family, like Daphne Zuniga from Melrose Place. Jaguar said those same circles Gabriella runs in are tight with folks like Kevin Hart.
Now, I'm not going to say her first name, but the family name that she holds is Zuniga. I've been researching, trying to figure out if she's related to the Hollywood Zunigas. Because Daphne Zuniga has ties in some interesting areas behind the scenes. Melrose Place actress, does anybody remember?
Zuniga.
Oh, damn, Melrose Place, yeah, 1990s.
Yeah, Daphne Zuniga. She has ties, like I said, some very interesting Hollywood ties. So you messing with this girl who's a child. This man has children older than this girl. Am I lying?
Jaguar didn't sugarcoat it. She said Gabriella was planted. According to her, this whole scandal was a calculated trap, set up from jump. And Gabriella, she didn't pull up empty-handed. She brought receipts, messages, audio clips, the whole package.
If you say that one more time, I'm gonna beat the shit out of you when I see you. Thank you.
Oh, I don't want to be spooked.
Yes, you do. I don't think you have a choice in that.
And when Shannon tried to play it like he was the one being wrong, Gabriella flipped the script and took it to the next level. She dropped a voice memo of Shannon making freaky, explicit comments. And the internet exploded. Fans were already shook, but then it got worse. Shannon's own lawyer confirmed he had offered Gabriella a whopping $10 million to settle things quietly. Does that mean he's guilty?
So this crazy update, cause this video is like a month old. So update. Last week they were supposed to have a proceeding in court dealing with Ms. Zuniga and Shannon Sharp. Tony Busby is her lawyer. Right now, Tony Busby got like a million cases going on, but I never seen somebody sue somebody for that amount of money, and the lawyer he didn't show up in court last week. So it's like, you know, is he like he know he gonna lose this, or why did he not show up? Because if you suing somebody for $50 million, I would hope my lawyer that I am actually be paying would show up.
Exactly.
But he just won a case like month before last, $600 million. Like,
but it definitely shows he was shook and trying to make this disappear before it ruined him completely. Now picture this. You're Shannon, your career's on fire in the worst way, deals gone, reputation trashed, media dragging you. That's when fans started whispering something loud. Kevin Hart made some calls. Think about it. Kevin's got major pull. He's tied into every studio, every streaming service, every big network. He's the clean-cut golden boy, hosts the People's Choice Awards, jokes around with The Rock in tequila ads. He's in every lane. If Kevin even hinted that Shannon was bad for business, that's all it would take to shut doors, fast. Now let's get into the why, because Kevin Hart had every reason to be heated. That Club Shay Shay interview went nuclear, and the blast landed right on Kevin's name. Kat called him a plant, a sellout, and even hinted that Kevin was getting cozy with the Hollywood puppet masters. And what did Shannon do? Sat back and let it all ride. Didn't check him, didn't defend Kevin, nothing. But Shannon didn't stay quiet for long. He clapped back, not just denying the wild accusation.
But at the end of the day, bro, like, you know, he says at the beginning where we have a conversation, it's not, I'm running it like I'm Phil Donahue or I'm Montel Williams. I'm running this. I'm not, when you show up on his podcast, basically, y'all having some drinks, y'all having a conversation. Similar to Drink Champs and other podcasts.
But going after the legal team behind it.
Family, friends, supporters, and colleagues, I want to speak to you directly and from the heart. This is a shakedown. I'm going to be open, transparent, and defend myself.
He called out attorney Tony Busby. Yeah, the same powerhouse lawyer who went after Diddy and tried to take Jay-Z to court. Shannon straight up accused him of targeting high-profile black men and using the media to twist public opinion before the facts are even out.
Orchestrated by Tony Busby, who is targeting Jay-Z. Tony Busby targets black men, and I believe he's going to release a 30-second clip of a tape that tries to make me look guilty and play into every stereotype you could possibly imagine.
And then it got real spicy. Shannon didn't hold back.
All right, y'all, we got a commercial, man. Hold on.
Get inspired at the Floor and Decor Atlanta Design Studio. Visualize your project with high-end stroke.
Spicy. Shannon didn't hold back.
Do we have a hater among us?
He challenged Busby directly.
Hey, Tony, instead of releasing your edit, put the whole video out. I don't have it, or I wouldn't myself. You know what happened, and you're trying to manipulate the media. The encounter in question took place during the day at her invitation, and now that appears to be a deliberate setup. Coordinated by Gabby, also known as Carly on OnlyFans.
daring him to prove something real. It was bold, but maybe too late, because let's be honest, the damage was already done. Sponsors pulled out. His monster 100 million media deal, now it's hanging by a thread. And through all of this, Kevin Hart is silent. No tweets, no shady Instagram jokes, no interviews. Just quiet, too quiet. But if you step back,
that's kind of
this ain't just about Kevin and Shannon. It's a cycle, a pattern that's playing out over and over again. First, it was Cat Williams, then Monique, now Shannon Sharp. Each time, it's the same story. Kevin gets the spotlight while somebody else gets hit with the scandal. Shannon gave Kat and Monique a platform, and suddenly he's the one catching heat. Now he's being accused, deals are vanishing, and he's one bad headline away from becoming another Hollywood cautionary tale. And who's still standing tall through it all? Kevin. Every single time someone else gets pushed out, Kevin levels up. People are finally starting to notice. He doesn't just rise when others fall, he profits from it. Whether Kevin's pulling strings or just benefiting from chaos, the optics, they look real bad. But now it's your turn. Sharp is getting hit just for giving Cat Williams and Monique a platform, or did he play himself by moving reckless and crazier?
Nah, honestly, I just think ain't nobody know what Cat Williams gonna say. And then when Cat Williams said whatever he was saying, bro, it was like, as the year went on, all this shit started coming out. So it was just like, damn, like, okay, I see why, you know what I'm saying? Because Kevin, he cool with Diddy too. But when Diddy got in trouble, he ain't say, I ain't heard him say nothing about Diddy. I ain't heard him say nothing about Diddy. Shit, I heard Will Smith get up there and tell I don't know if he was telling jokes or he was talking to a crowd. He told us, man, y'all got these pictures with me and Diddy together, bro. I ain't got nothing to do with that, bro. Man came out and told these folks straight up, I ain't got nothing to do with that. All right, we're going to Star Snitch, y'all. We're going to Star Snitch. They say 50 Cent and Eminem are done staying silent about the Carters. Star Snitch. It's Star Snitch.
But I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that you want to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still compete. It's gonna make sense.
First of all, that vote is fake as That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darling.
I want to know which one. I think I wonder if he's talking about. I wonder if he talk what show is he talking about? What
Boy Carter. It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder and they make threats. And those threats are huge ones.
There are horrible things that happen every day. Whether it be in the industry or not, mentally, emotionally, financially.
50 Cent and Eminem are finally joining forces, and they're coming straight for Jay-Z and Beyonce. They're calling out some heavy allegations, shady deals, stolen credit, award show rigging, and an alleged trail of ruined careers. This isn't just smoke, it's starting to look like a 5-alarm fire. 50 is claiming Jay-Z still out here trying to block his business moves even now. And Eminem, he's been warning people for years about how dark and dirty the music industry can get. Lately, he's been slipping cryptic bars into his tracks, dropping hints about powerful gatekeepers pulling strings behind the scenes. But it doesn't stop there. Beyonce's getting hit with serious accusations too. She's being called out for allegedly stealing songwriting credits and supposedly blackballing other women in the game. Names like Aaliyah, Mia, Mary J. Blige, and Carrie Hilson keep coming up, Women who were climbing high until suddenly they weren't. And you thought that was wild? Jay and Bay's tight connection with Diddy is raising eyebrows again. Jay-Z may have swerved that lawsuit filed by Jane Doe, but now the alleged victim is hinting she was pressured to stay quiet.
When you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you're going, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what I went through with Joe.
Right after some sketchy people popped up at her doorstep. That's next level scary. So now the question's burning hotter than ever. Are Jay-Z and Beyonce really the power couple they pretend to be, or just masters at cleaning up every mess behind the scenes? Have they been sitting on top while stepping over bodies to stay there? And do 50 Cent and Eminem actually have the inside scoop? Are they exposing a system that's taken down artists, careers, maybe even lives? For years, Jay and Bay were untouchable. Music royalty. Saying anything bad about them? Instant backlash. You get labeled a bitter hater. But now, that carefully polished image is cracking badly. And leading the charge with no fear are 50 Cent and Eminem, pulling back the curtain on the so-called king and queen of the industry.
Look, Jay-Z and them was putting it together.
That's where I was like.
So I think they still harbor some energy towards me.
You think you were purposely left out of the ad?
No. I don't think. I think that they were saying the NFL had some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? You start looking at that's not mine. That's theirs. They're hard, right? But when you look at M is looking at the entire legacy.
Yeah.
The whole thing, like with M, Dre, myself, because I'm a shady after that. You see what I'm saying? Like it do so much Junior Records.
Right.
They forget that I'm M and Dre's on.
Let's kick it off with 50 Cent because he's not holding back. He's calling Jay-Z insecure, jealous, and straight up petty, and this time he's got receipts. Back in 2023, 50 claimed Jay tried to block him from hitting the Super Bowl stage by pulling strings through his NFL connections. Wild, right? But Jay's plan totally backfired because Eminem wasn't having it. He straight up told the NFL, no 50, no Slim Shady. That move alone exposed just how far Jay was willing to go to keep 50 out the spotlight. Fast forward to 50's recent interview on Talk with Flea featuring Cameron, and he's airing Jay out again.
This is what I was saying. This is why I was saying I knew what Boy was doing with the Super Bowl. Because he was doing he was doing some wild things. Because he was saying that to Eminem that the NFL had the issue with me. And I'm like, well, what's the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team? Because they had an issue with my performance. Like, makes no sense.
So I was going to get to that later, but since we're here now. And when he says "oh boy" for the audience, I'm talking about Jay-Z. This was discussed before. Jay-Z told Dr. Dre, just for people who's not up on this, or Eminem, that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they had a couple years ago. Why do you think that is?
Well, I just
threatened.
Possibly. Not even threatened. I think it's just when you take the competition from our culture is competitive, man. It's like it is, but I think when it goes past the music itself to blocking things in business, then I don't understand that. Like right now, he's not even competing for a slot. You don't have a new song out that you want to be on the top 10, the top 5, and you're still competing. It don't make sense. Like, what are we competing for? So what's the goal? Like this even like a lot of this, even a lot of the competitive stuff, or we would call it beef, right? It changed. That terminology changed when it's Biggie and Tupac, because we start saying the things that people would say that cause beef in the environment.
Right.
When before that they called it bad one in our culture.
Right.
Because that's what it is until it turns into some street shit. So when you're not competing for those things anymore, and you start looking and you go, so what was the problem? You can't exactly remember what the problem was. That's what I went through with you.
According to 50, Jay's still out here playing dirty behind the scenes, not just in the music biz, but in the boardroom too. And the craziest part, 50 said Jay has already proven everything he needed to, but he's still allegedly trying to ruin his deals, just out of spite. And it doesn't stop there.
Mr. Young, thank you, sir. All the doors that you opened, you know, showed us that we can be rock stars. Seeing you on the Rolling Stone, obviously, as Run DMC with the Leathers and the Aerosmith. But when you came out west, you took it to a whole new level. Some of you don't belong in the category. No, when I get nervous, I tell the truth.
Now, 50 and Eminem are linking up to expose what they believe is major Grammy rigging. 50's pointing fingers at Jay for using his marriage to Beyonce like a cheat code to win awards. Meanwhile, Eminem's been screaming for years that the Grammys are a scam, a pay-to-win setup. And when Beyonce finally snagged Album of the Year for Cowboy Carter, not everyone believed it was earned. Fans started whispering that Jay pulled strings again, especially since he got on stage at the previous year's Grammys and dragged the Recording Academy for snubbing his wife.
Few Grammys, but you feel like you had to sell your soul to get them. And you didn't know if you wanted it for the recognition or the trophies, but what's the difference? You know, and that Grammys pretty much suck the blood of artists and nominate them, have them come to the shows. And
Which they do. They do it every year, yeah. And I'm just tired of seeing it. And for whatever reason, it's like they're always pitching this hint that you might win Album of the Year, which used to be a big deal. I don't think it's a big deal now.
But here's the twist. Fans weren't buying Jay's speech. It felt fake. He was up there clutching an award while blasting the same people who gave it to him. Like, if the Grammys are so biased, why show up at all? Why not walk away and prove you don't need their stamp of approval instead of begging for it on stage? The whole situation just felt off, and it only made the whispers louder. Are the Carters really climbing the ladder with talent, or with blackmail and big money moves?
Watch 50. Saying 50 did not win Best New Artist at the Grammys.
There was nothing bigger than
nothing bigger, and nobody since maybe like Snoop came out the gate like that. My first album didn't do it. I never saw someone's first album and the wave happen like he had. And then he doesn't get it. And then I get up there another year, and what was it, the Eminem show? And it was like, whatever, I'm fine if I lose to Kanye or someone that I'm like, okay, I respect that. I know who that is, and Kanye has a huge following. He's made a massive impact on music. Fine, I'm good with that. But don't get us all here to use your selling point for your show and stiff everybody every single time. And I said, after that point in time, I was like, don't ever ask me to here again. Please do not ask me. My answer is no for 100 million years.
Chevy is called
he ain't going to the ground.
Like the people who keep this country moving. For them, only America's most dependent.
Never again will I go to the...
For years, insiders have said the Grammys are more about industry politics than actual skill. And one of the loudest voices screaming that truth is Eminem. M's been saying for ages that the Grammys are nothing but a scam. He even vowed to never show up again, and he meant it. But don't get it twisted. He's not just mad about losing. Eminem said if another artist actually dropped a better album, he'd be cool with it. What really gets under his skin is the way the Grammys use him. They hype him up, push his name in all the promos, make it look like he's got a real shot at winning just to boost views. Then when it's showtime, boom, he's shut out like he was never in the race. It's all smoke and mirrors. And when someone asked him if he'd ever come back if he joined the voting committee, M didn't flinch. He said it wouldn't change a thing. Why? Because in his words, the whole thing's rigged, and those votes, they don't mean a damn thing. Meanwhile, 50 Cent is backing him all the way and throwing even more shade. He didn't just call the Grammys rigged. He flat out said Jay-Z's wins ain't about the music.
Would consider, joining the board and maybe you have a vote in it?
First of all, that vote is fake. That's not a real vote. That's not a real vote. They give it to who they want to give it to. They give it to their darlings. This got critical acclaim, but it sold 2 records. It ain't about always what you sell. I get that, Vanilla Ice, I understand. You know what I'm saying? But there comes a point where when an overwhelming something comes along that has this wave and impact on music, and you give it to Lada Dottie. Who? Lada Dottie. It's not like Lada Dottie.
According to 50, Jay's bagging those awards thanks to his marriage with Beyonce. He claims the Recording Academy knows exactly what they're doing. As long as Jay and Bey show up, the cameras flash, ratings explode, and the show goes viral. So what's the play? Keep nominating them, keep awarding them, just to guarantee that power couple makes an appearance.
When he started to receive the 16, well, he got 16, 17 Grammys since he's been with Beyonce. Right? And you go prior to that, 1.
Right.
You see what I'm saying? So that came to an association, like you see the kids even have Grammys. Like they don't sing yet. They don't sing. They don't rap yet. And they already have Grammys. So it's like they give them this trophy so we secure that they're coming to the award show. It meant that much to the culture that they just gave them the things they would. Later, to me, I didn't get about trophies. I said,
But 50 wasn't finished, not even close. On his recent stop at the Flagrant podcast, he doubled down hard. He claimed Jay-Z's whole empire and all those Grammy trophies ain't really about talent, it's about who he's married to. 50 even went as far as calling Jay and Beyonce's relationship a contract. He hinted that they might just be sticking it out for the image, the deals, and the power it brings. Wild, right?
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. No, those fucking trophies. Those fucking trophies came rolling in money. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at this story, come on, man. You show up. Yeah, it's funny now. He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had 1, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
He was 1. After that, he's like drinking. Thanks to cop.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated different.
The accolades. Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce.
Oh, wow.
You were connected to the biggest.
Jay got. Oh, wow. So that's the deal. He's
that's the deal. The other ones didn't count as much as that one did.
But it's not just 50 saying Jay plays dirty to stay on top. Plenty of insiders have whispered for years that both Jay and Beyonce allegedly blocked other artists from rising on purpose. Why? So nobody outshines them. So they stay the only ones winning. And then there's the dark story of Beyonce's former bodyguard, Uncle Ron. Before he passed from pneumonia, he went public, saying he had receipts proving that Jay and Bey destroyed careers, ruined lives, and crushed rising stars, all to secure their own throne.
Beyonce and Jay-Z will do anything to destroy anyone who speaks out against him. Hey, I get the threats, but you have to remember one thing. I know your deepest secrets.
And he gone now. He passed away. Rest in peace to the man. But,
YouTube Premium is ad-free YouTube and the YouTube Music app all together.
I know so much about you and what you've done. I know so much on how you got where you are, how you stepped on many people. Beyonce.
Damn, son.
Carrie Hilson's career because she said something.
He said he knew too much, and the timing of his death, let's just say people are talking. And how could we not bring up Jaguar Wright? She used to sing background for Jay-Z, but now she's one of his fiercest critics. Jaguar's been spilling everything, claiming that folks close to Jay, like Harlem legend Big L, either mysteriously lost their lives or saw their careers vanish right when Jay's was blowing up. Let's pause and talk about Big L for a second.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z, he didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as that was with Big L.
Rest
For those
in peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest. One of the
sense
dopest.
Big
Yes.
L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z Jay-Z?
Back in the early 90s, he was one of Harlem's most promising talents.
That nigga
A
look like
real
a
lyrical
single.
beast.
Hold on.
That was with Big L.
Rest
For
in
those
peace.
of you,
Rest in peace, Big L.
rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was the
dopest.
sense
One of
that
the dopest.
Big
Yes.
L was who put Jay-Z in.
Without question.
And then Big L
Yeah,
died,
all
and
right,
you
yo.
know Jay-Z.
Back in the early 90s, he was one of Harlem's most prominent talents. A real lyrical beast. Known for his insane freestyles, Big L had the streets buzzing. He landed a deal with Columbia Records and dropped a debut that made waves. After Columbia dropped Big L, he wasn't about to quit. He started his own label and started making real waves. That's when Dame Dash, co-founder of Rockefeller, took notice. Big L was finally getting his shot, but right when his career was about to explode, tragedy struck. February 15th, 1999, Big L was gunned down in a drive-by shooting in Harlem. And all these years later, the case remains unsolved. No justice, no answers. But if you ask Jaguar Wright, she's not biting her tongue. She believes Jay-Z might have had something to do with it. That's the level of suspicion we're dealing with. Now let's shift to another giant.
All of this alleged, y'all.
DMX, one of the only rappers besides 50 Cent who had the guts to straight up confront Jay-Z. DMX always said Jay was bitter and jealous. And when Jay became president of Def Jam in 2004, things got messy. DMX had been carrying Def Jam on his back, 5 back-to-back #1 albums, 1998 and 2003. But when it came time to drop his 6th album,
I see what's really good. You're trying to elevate the competition. You know, because at first you retire, you know, then get me off the label. Now you're back rapping again.
Again, X claimed Jay-Z purposely held it back. Why? So Jay could clear the stage for his own comeback. And the drama didn't stop there. In 2005, DMX dropped a bombshell with his track The Industry, where he exposed the shady games going on behind closed doors. The wild part, most of what he said is still happening today.
The game is boring, man. The game is boring. If you want to rap or sing or whatever, don't become a part of the game. You know what? Listen to a song I call The Industry. And that pretty much explains what it's like. The industry. Man, it's not the same. The industry, it's not a game. The industry, is dying to get in the industry just to find they don't fit in. The industry ain't what it used to be. The industry's trying to control the way you MC. They want you to dress like this and talk like that, but I'm going to dress like this and talk with the guy. The industry.
Even Irv Gotti, who was deep in the industry, said Jay was jealous of X. He even claimed Jay and his mentor, Leo Cohen, used to laugh at DMX behind the scenes, thinking he'd never blow up. But DMX proved them dead wrong.
Damn,
Jay
son.
keeps coming up with Beanie Siegel too.
I was like, we gotta sign DMX, and they laughed at me. I remember when I left the office, Tina Davis said, she knew I wanted to sign DMX. She said, your ass is fired. Jay and Dame did not believe in DMX. Jay would be like, you think he's better than me? And I'd be like, he's nice just like you. I said, if you look in the hood, there's less like you and more like him. Yeah, but he don't want to live that, and he's depressing, guy. And I said, I don't give. So Jay used to watch me grind with X, and he was off with the Hitman. And then something strange happened when I made Get At Me Dog. Remember at the beginning of the video, it's the heart was DMX, Live at the Tumble. I don't even remember the Tumble. Funk Master was Tumble. And then I put that sound bite. Let's take it back to the streets, the video's flashing, up your eyes, it caused change. And now there's no more shiny suits.
Oh, we got somebody much
We
to
back
be,
to the
y'all.
hood, and X is the leader of this revolution. I used to put on the wall.
As soon as I get through with this one, we gotta go to Most Scandalous.
He was like, they used to clown me. They used to be like, who's gonna buy his records, Gotti? Chihuahuas, he's barking. No one wants to hear that bullshit. And I'm like, yeah. It's 05. There was no more writing on the walls. It was, y'all can get behind me. I used to tell Leo in the midst of the whole staff, and I would tell him, yo, shut the fuck up, yo. I said, you work better when you shut up and get behind me. Now this is what we doing.
Damn.
And he would shut up.
Beanies talked about how it felt like someone was constantly pulling strings to keep him down. He said Jay would drop his own projects around the same time as Beanie's, basically flooding the spotlight so Beanie's numbers would stay limited, almost like Beanie was only allowed to rise so far and no higher. Yeah, Beanie Siegel admitted he made mistakes, especially with his legal troubles, but he made it crystal clear Jay-Z's shady behavior wasn't accidental. According to Beanie, Jay knew exactly what he was doing. Every move, calculated. But let's not act like Beyonce's innocent in all this. While some fans still push the idea that she's just Jay's puppet, that narrative doesn't add up. There's no way she's been standing by his side all these years without being part of the strategy. If anything, they've been running the game together and allegedly taking out anyone they see as a threat. Here's just a taste of the tea.
I don't think one man can destroy another man's life. It's ultimately in your own decisions. You know, I had a lot of issues. But I say legal issues at the time, and you know, my mind wasn't where I'm at now today. Like I used to have questions like why every time my album dropped, Jay would drop right on top. He wouldn't let me breathe, or right before me, like I was always close. And I never understood that every single album that I dropped, Jay dropped right on top. And it was like, damn, like that in-house competition at that magnitude was crazy. Jay ready to boss, but I always thought that like he breathed. But
when Beyonce left Destiny's Child and started getting close to Jay, something strange happened. Jay allegedly snatched producer Rich Harrison away from rising singer Amir Reed, who was heating up at the time and rumored to be competition for Beyonce. Remember Amory's hit One Thing? That record had the same signature vibe as Crazy in Love. And some fans even think Beyonce copied the formula after Harrison jumped ship. Then there's Carrie Hilson. She had a public clash with Beyonce that spiraled out of control. Word is Carrie's producers allegedly tricked her into recording a diss track aimed at Bey, setting her up to get dragged and canceled. Carrie denied it at first, but then got blasted again when she refused to hold a magazine with Beyonce and Jay-Z on the cover.
Where you been, A-Marie?
I've been out in the like the universe.
How about your career? Everybody always said A-Marie should have been a superstar. Because she's pretty, she dance, she can sing. What? What do you think?
What it is? It's timing. Like everything is timing. Like I'm a big believer in.
You want to hold the magazine? She was asked, and when she said no, the Bayhive went off. Carrie faced intense backlash from fans. Some even confronted her in the streets. But behind the scenes, whispers started swirling that Beyonce orchestrated the whole thing. Some sources claim Bey had insiders in Carrie's camp who set her up, getting her to record that track while Beyonce played the innocent victim. And years later, Carrie kind of confirmed it. In a 2020 interview, she admitted she was pressured into dropping the track, and that the threats she received afterward were real. It wasn't just a fallout, it was career sabotage in disguise. And we definitely can't forget about Kellis. She straight up accused Beyonce of theft after Bey sampled her iconic hit Milkshake without giving her a single ounce of credit.
It's the price you pay, when you're early in your career, you feel that you have to listen. And when you buck, they buck harder and they make threats. And those threats are huge ones. And you know what I mean? You don't feel like you have a choice. I really didn't feel like I had a choice. It was do this or this.
What's even crazier, Kellis didn't even know it happened until the internet told her. She found out the same way everyone else did, through social media. Kellis wrote, "I heard about this the same way everyone else did. Nothing is ever as it seems. Some of the people in this business have no soul."
We gotta go to Los Angeles, bro. We gotta go to Los Angeles. My shit right here, bro. Fucks with it. I don't know what it's 118. Oh, okay, here we go.
Gives you a break to keep you covered.
Yeah, whether it's on your car insurance or taking a break from being the auto tune guy.
At the LAPD.
Alright, y'all, hold on. I gotta fast forward it just a little bit.
You're gonna hear Munchie talk about the Welcome back to Scandalous Los Angeles TV.
where we expose the exposers. Well, it looks like Munchie B is letting it all out right now. Apparently, Porky and Loves Boys went on Clubhouse or somewhere online and did something that really set him off. So in this episode, you're gonna hear Munchie talk about the time they almost lined Porky up, planning to do something bad to him. Munchie said Porky didn't show up because it was his daughter's birthday. That's the only thing that saved him that day. Munchie's also going to get into Lieutenant Officer Loves Boys and how he got caught in a cigar lounge, smoking cigars with actual police officers. We already know Loves Boys tried to become a cop. We've seen the photos, him with officers on their bikes, holding up the badge they gave him. At this point, it's just normal behavior for him. Munchie even calls up one of his homegirls on the phone, and she confirms everything he said about CS2 back. So yeah, we're just gonna get right into it.
Yep, I'm in the mayor's office, and it's morals over money. 2 times, it's morals over money. And just a quick dime sack real quick, man. Because these dudes is pissing me off, dude. These is weirdos and wannabes trying to pass themselves off as gangsters, bro, and it pissing me off, right? This dude, Winnie 100 dude, some content. Well, no, he make a post and he shared some content that me and Alex Alonso did, and alluding that, you know, we snitches or somewhere. We implicating somebody in some hollers, right? We did a segment on straight politics, and we talking about, you know what I'm saying, people that got took to jail on their indictment in Palmdale. And I said the PDLs and 2Ps are deep in Palmdale, which they are. The 2Ps in the Palmdale, in the 2Ps and PDLs are deep in Palmdale. And top of the comments is 600. He say, oh yeah, trying to something with a murder or something with whack or something. First of all, I'm like, damn, why would this fool do this, right? Why would he say some stupid shit? So now, these fools is the police for real, and they like to throw snitch allegations and say they exposers.
It doesn't get any better than that, or any real for real. And yet, they're out here running around trying to call these people rats. Meanwhile, they're the ones popping up in people's paperwork. Loves Boys is showing up at people's court dates just to antagonize them, something a police officer would do. You call him out to fight, he won't show up to you at all. But when you're going to court, suddenly he's there, smiling, saying, hey man, how you doing? Who does that? Who antagonizes someone when they're on their way to jail? I'll tell you who. A cop.
Damn.
That's police here. He loves at the LAPD.
So good at getting paperwork. Where mine's at? Where mine's at? I've been a person of interest in a whole lot of cases, bro. See, hey, look, whack, you got all these relationships with police. Why you don't tell Reggie Wright to tap in with Inglewood Police and ask him about him? Ask him on my track record. Tell him ask Arthur Rakins. That's a detective now. Tell him ask the detective Trick that retired. He was hell bent on getting me on something and couldn't. He had to retire without getting much. Tell him act because I know Reggie Wright and all these people, Blaylock and Blackman from Inglewood Police. Ask him. He crazy, right? But 600 got some nerve. Okay, now, Michael Dow. Y'all could probably Google him. Michael Dow. He's a notorious crooked cop. Been to jail and all that shit. Got out. Notorious crooked cop. Michael Dow, right? Now, my my good friend Marcos, he do content. You know what I mean? And he throws Alex Alonso alley-oop like you could interview Michael Dowd, right? So shout out Cinemills, you know what I'm saying? Everybody go subscribe to Cinemills, you know what I'm saying? So Alex, okay, interview the dude, Michael Dowd. They do the interview, and after they done, Michael Dowd asked for a ride because he Ubered there to the spot. So Alex Alonso gives the man a ride. He's going to this cigar lounge, right? So Marcos is there, the one that linked them together to do the interview. So Alex Alonso get there, he gets out because he's gonna go in there and he's going to speak to Marcos. He go in there, it's off-duty police officers and crooked cops and retired police officers all hanging out, hitting cigars and shit. And if I'm lying, I'm flying. On my daughters, nigga, on Inglewood Family Gangsta Bloods, bro. 600 is in there smoking cigars with the police. 600 is in there smoking cigars with...
Stuff like this doesn't even surprise me. It's not even news at this point when we hear about this kind of thing. Especially when we already know this guy just went down there and applied to be an officer. Love's boys said his criminal background is the reason he couldn't get the position. But honestly, we don't even know if that's true. For all we know, he might have got hired. We just don't know.
Son.
What we do know, he's down there smoking cigars with the police at the cigar lounge.
On my daughters, he's in there smoking cigars with the police. Now, my question was like, damn, why is these police officers hanging with this crooked cop? I thought you was like a disgraced officer if you do things that Michael Dowd did, but you know, Michael Dowd pulled up to go hang out. That's one, right? For two, why is 600 hanging out with the police smoking cigars? And look, and I've never said nothing about this because, you know, when I have conversations with people, I don't know if they want me to repeat this type of, you know what I'm saying? So, boom, that's one thing. All right, two, I'm gonna speed it up since I said this a darn thing. Whack 100, act so tough. Now, me and this man bumped heads on Clubhouse. He said some very disrespectful and fictitious things, right? Now, I come from a volatile past, bro, and I only know one way to handle things. Because I'm not going to win with this man on Clubhouse. That's his arena. You know what I mean? So my thing was, I would like to talk to this dude, like, face to face. You know what I'm saying? And really, something that he need to be touched, right? Okay. He's having something. Hey, pull up, bro. All right, I'm gonna pull up. Now, at the time, 100 and Rocky, they boys. Be hollering, they cool or whatever. So, in my mind, I'm thinking, this is my opportunity. We gonna get this fool, right? So, I'm with the homies, and they split on what they. I'm like, I'm putting up the Rocky shit because you know I got a motive. And I told the homies want to bounce somewhere else. I said, look, what we gonna do is we gonna pull up there. You know what I'm saying? Y'all Bicky, I'm just gonna be in there for like an hour and shit, and then we can bounce. The whole thing was the homies just parked up at the car. If Whack there, we have a conversation and he's disrespectful, I'm all right, you got that, boss. And we gonna whack your bitch ass. Right? And this the same day I met Rich Trapper. He push up, introduce himself. The homie Rocky right there, and Rich Trapper like, yeah, I'm from 60s. I'm like, okay. The homie Rocky like, no, he cool though. I'm like, then I know my mind is on something else. I didn't even tell Rocky this because this is his boy, and maybe he tried to defuse the situation, or you know what I'm saying. I wanted Wack to be there. He wasn't there. I go outside, get some air. Wacko from Bompton there. I'm like, man, what's up, Wacko? Where Wack at? Wacko, like, I don't know, fuck that nigga, right? I'm like, oh, okay. I didn't know. I thought, shit, Wacko, like, fuck that nigga. I'm like, oh, okay. We just get to talk about different shit, lowriders and shit, because this shit was stuck in three-wheel motion. He was waiting on the tow. He told me how he drove from Inglewood to Bompton one time on a freeway on three-wheel motion. I'm like, damn, that's cold. So he wasn't there. I stayed for a short time, and I should. The homies ready. B team is ready to smack. If the conversation was go hurt you, boy.
See, Porky knows that. That's exactly why he doesn't come outside anymore. Because every time he shows his face somewhere, he ends up getting beat up and punched on. Every single time.
Listen. That night, I go back to the Brawl House. I'm on that Clubhouse app just listening, and Wack pops in, and he talked about his night and said, oh, he was out with his daughter. It was his daughter's birthday. I said, oh, that's why he wasn't there. That's why he wasn't there. Now, I forget what month this was, so whatever month Rocky's birthday is, his daughter's birthday is in that same month. Nigga, stop playing, bro. You ain't about no action on Inglewood family, bro. 2 years ago, niggas trying to press play on you. The girl Mika, she knew I had some disdain towards you, right? The one that put 3 fingers in his ass. So, I'm in the hood. The next day she called. She said, oh, I got Wack on the other line. I'm like, yeah, all right, she merged it. The nigga nice as hell, right? She texts me, record the call. That's not my get down at the time. Fast forward, in retrospect, you always need to be recording, right? You telling me, oh, what's your issue with me, man? It seemed like, you kept coming in the room, and you talking about making diss songs about me. I'm like, damn, how the fuck you know I said that shit? But he didn't tell me who said it. But I figured it out. It's that bitch from 5'9" Brim, that Buster. I ain't gonna say his name. He from 5'9" Brim, and he make beats and shoot music videos and shit. The one that the cameraman that quit on Blueface, that first series of Blue Girls Club. That bitch ass nigga. That's who told you that shit. So Nick catch him, he's getting slapped on Inglewood family. Hey, you listening, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I was trying to call you. Look, all right, remember that day we went to the homie party, the homie Rocky, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Yes.
Not only it's the homie birthday, but what did I go for?
What, Wack? I mean, wait.
Yeah, the Wack.
Yeah. You was
Right. I didn't tell a homie what I was up to with the Wack shit because it was cool at the time. I didn't want him to. Oh, Nick, and then I had to move back to your house. Do you remember why he wasn't there? Or how I found out why he wasn't there?
Oh. Wait.
Cause I remember I was listening on that Clubhouse shit. I heard this bitch ass pop in there. Then he was, oh yeah, that was my daughter's birthday. I'm like, oh, that's why he wasn't there. Okay, nigga was strapped up right along.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
All right, no.
Ready for Wack.
You know what I mean?
That's ready for Wack.
Yeah, he wasn't like, at all, like.
Right. The very
So that nigga, that's a Wack got nice on him. He got real nice.
I'm like, that is this really like? Yeah, I remember that too. Though.
I hold on. And then the girl that merged the call was taking come off recording.
Yeah.
And I was like, I ain't even on that.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, no, hey, that bitch back up on Inglewood family, but you know.
Oh, wow. You know, he was not, he didn't have the same cut. He was all like, oh, yeah, bro, they wanted to talk to you. No, it was all up. You feel me? You was, if anything, you was the one that was like, what's good? Like, what's, you know, like, yeah. You was trying to take his temperature for sure.
Right.
He was busy that day.
All right, so, if he would have been there the night before I got on the phone with him, bro, it would have been bad for that nigga. And now here it is 2 years later, this nigga still popping it.
Yeah.
But the whole time he not knowing this though.
Yeah, cause yeah. You was, she did say recording. I was.
But he shouldn't have said this online though.
Like you
I
wouldn't
don't
believe
think he
it.
should have said this
Nobody would
online.
believe it. Like for real, like that's why we were saying recorded. But I know you all.
You know, when they say shit like this online, this the next thing you hear.
In the criminal justice system, the people are represented by two separate yet equally important groups: the police who investigate crime and the district attorneys who prosecute the offenders. These are their stories.
So yeah, that's
All
what
right, shit, I'm
exactly
about to take
happened.
this little spot. I'm gonna bang the line on Beeson.
Alrighty.
Or
600 smoking cigars with the police. Michael Dowd, Google him. He's a notorious crooked cop on IMG, bro. You was there. That cigar lounge. I forget what's supposed to be the name of it. You was there with all the police officers, bro. Whack. Nigga was on you 2.5 years ago. Nigga. On Inglewood Family, bro. Stop paying. Bitch.
That was my people from Inglewood.
Anyways,
Inglewood was all good.
Everybody keep
It's
balls up
all
bro.
good.
You know what I'm saying? Like, subscribe, hit the notification bell and all that good shit.
Yeah.
I'm out of here, bro. Big team.
My people are from Inglewood. You know, when I was out there. My first night in LA, I was at the Inglewood Eats or something like that. Some little festival they had.
Los Angeles TV, where we expose the exposers. Today, we'll be talking about the way CS2back used SKG as a weapon to go after Big U. Not just his name, but his contracts as well. We're also going to break down how CS2back used Adam and No Jumper to bring it all together, to wrap the lies in a nice little bow and feed it to the public like truth. For 3 years straight, CS2back has been on a coordinated smear campaign against Big U. Porky himself went on record and admitted he came at Big U in 4 different phases. One of the key phases of this campaign, Porky openly stated that he wanted to go after Big U's contracts.
Wax said 100 times he gonna take my contracts. He worked with the FBI. Wax said 100 times he gonna take my contracts. He worked with the FBI.
I keep telling niggas I work on pays. Let me see how smart you are, Brock. What was the last bullet I launched? Damn, son. I'm gonna give you the last 3. I'm gonna give you the last 3. All right, go ahead. I'm gonna give you the last 4. With the code, I know where this is going. Then I double back and release the signature line with him and Nippy Hustle on the contract and told him, say another word, I'm gonna let him see what the contract is. You see me? All right? I'm all ears. Then the female SKG. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy. Uh-oh, we're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Now let's be clear. Every single time you've seen or heard SKG, it wasn't by accident. It was one of Porky the Pyro's phases, strategic moves he admitted to launching in his campaign against Big U. Porky even said it himself. SKG was a tool, used specifically to attack Big U's character and sabotage his contracts. That's not speculation. That's his own words. Now peep this. The day after Adam 22 was reportedly visited by the feds,
But while I'm in my house, I'm playing poker on my computer, guy comes to my front door, and I didn't actually even know, but my girl was communicating with him through the box in the front of our house with the camera. She texts me, she says, a dude is here from the FBI, and basically he's trying to serve you with a subpoena. And so she told him, Adam's not here, and he's off at work or whatever. I forget what she told him. And so I immediately hop on the line with my lawyer. I said, what should I do? I don't want to, handle the situation wrong. Over and over and over, I've sat down with rappers or whoever who tell me about situations in which they divulge too much information to the police or whoever, and it ended up coming back to bite them. Especially, something that comes to mind is like, now that being said, I'm not really that worried because I know that I myself haven't been involved in any criminality, but I figured I would have my lawyer take care of it. So my lawyer reaches out to the guy who came to my door. She assures me that she's going to be able to ask the FBI agent a handful of questions, and from that information be able to ascertain, is Adam in trouble? Is Adam going to be, forced to hand over a crazy amount of information? Because that was kind of lingering around in my head. It's like, God, it's going to be a huge pain in the ass if they want to confiscate all the computers and everything in here. We're going to have to buy a bunch of computers to use.
Where's the furnace? Start the furnace up, guys.
I don't know. I was considering that. I've not destroyed any information for the right. But this is the thing that my lawyer comes back to me with. She said the feds were interested in one thing and one thing only. Because in my head, I'm thinking they're going to want copies of the podcasts that Brick or Luce were on. They're going to want to make sure that there wasn't anything in those podcasts that was edited out. Now, anybody who knows me and No Jumper knows that we really don't like to edit things out. So the only stuff we're editing out is if it's like a 4-alarm fire, like, yo, we need to take this out. So I don't think there's ever been something that Brick or Luce told us that they needed us to edit out. But the one thing that the feds wanted was the cease and desist from Big U to No Jumper, asking us to take down the episode in which Loose Cannon first made the explosive statement that suggested that Big U had previous.
The only thing they
knowledge
wanted was
of Nipsey
cease and
Hussle's death.
desist.
Now, that situation is very much outside of what was mentioned in the indictment. In the indictment, there's nothing about Nipsey, there's nothing about any of that stuff. So this to me is kind of massive because it makes me feel like, oh, the FBI is interested in what Big U's involvement in Nipsey's death might be, which to me seems gigantic. I don't know why that cease and desist is not going to help them prosecute Brick Baby or Loose Cannon or anybody else. The fact that they're interested in that, to me, adds quite a bit of credibility to the argument that perhaps Nipsey Hussle's death was a more complicated situation than it appears to be.
Well, when this
isn't
it?
We did hand it over, yeah.
Isn't this when that
I mean, really, so it's safe to say you're fair. I'm happy to help the feds with talking about a document that we obviously discussed on here over and over, and which doesn't implicate anybody that I know or whatever. And it's not like.
The very next day after Adam 22 was reportedly visited by the feds, he dropped an interview featuring SKG, the same woman that Porky openly admitted to using as a weapon to attack Big U's character and contracts.
Weeks have passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
Excuse me, how much do you want to bet I can find work quicker than you?
There's no way.
All right, let's see who can find something faster.
2009.
Adam 22 is clearly playing his part in the broader agenda, helping push the exact same narrative Porky laid out. What you're witnessing is collaboration, not coincidence.
Now the real coming out. I keep telling motherfuckers, I've been sitting back waiting.
She crying hard too.
Hey, what's
I
up?
don't know, I know what's going on, but we're gonna let her say what's going on.
Hey, Wolf, what up?
You ready to read the caption, AP?
I'm ready.
Go ahead and mute up. Everybody mute up.
This is from Halicia Hoyce, y'all. At Big U. You took damn near everything from me. Everything. You violated me. You played in my face with my family. You lied on my name. You put your hands on me and made me lose everything. You beat me while I was pregnant and gave me PTSD for years. You told people not to do business with me. You tried to blackball me because you couldn't.
Wolf Dog, yeah, I remember you, bro.
I'm not carrying another year of this burden on me. What you did to me. You are such a monster. You know, and I know. Can y'all play that content? I have been crying all day, y'all. Like, I just came to Miami doing an interview with Tasha K. And when she dropped that interview, you guys are gonna understand so fucking much. For years, I have carried shit with me that people's done to me made me lose. And I haven't said shit.
You understand me? Nothing. I haven't said nothing. I carried that shit. And these niggas, black men, you guys are so fucked up towards women in this industry, bro.
I ain't gonna say that. I'm not a black man that's fucked up against nothing, so I can't say that.
Trauma. This nigga Big U. I told Tasha K everything this man did to me. Jumped on me when I was locked me in a fucking spot. Made me almost lose my baby. And I had a fucking salary job at K-Day. The nigga made me lose every fucking thing. Everything. And I carried it. It's not all I wanted to do was fucking work.
Hey, I'll be back.
Years I get into it with people, years I be so fucking angry because of what this nigga did. I can't trust nobody. And then I help somebody and they cross me. Then a person smack me out and lie on my name. It is so many people that I have fucking helped. So many people I have money in their pocket. I feel like I can't take this shit no fucking more. I almost lost my fucking life because of this nigga Big Q. Because of what he did to me.
That's hard. I like that.
And Tasha was the only person who said she would tell my story.
That's SKG.
I don't know.
Who is SKG? She a rapper. She out the 60s over there. She be over there. Yo, keep playing that shit.
But you're coming in here and you're trying to bogart and knock me out the way when I brought you in. So within the meeting, he did all that, and I closed out the meeting, and my colleagues rode with me, and he seen that. A week passed, and Nipsey's calling me. He's like, sis, where you at? Where you at? Sis, I need posters. I wasn't going over to the neighborhood, to the 6 O's, because I was really busy, and I'm like, Nip, I'm gonna come, but I can't come right now. I pull up, walk in, him and Fats is behind the counter. I'm like, what's up, bro? And I'm talking to him, and as I'm talking to him, I get this eerie feeling. And then I hear a slam, clack, clack. And I realized I was sad. The door slammed. When I turned around, Big Q was there, and another guy, he just slapped me. I grabbed my face, and I'm like, what you slap me for? And he was like, bitch, you gonna embarrass me in the meeting, bitch? And he just jumped on me.
SKG claims she was assaulted by Big U while she was pregnant, right inside Nipsey's own store. She says Nipsey and his late associate Fats set her up. Why? Because Big U felt disrespected during a meeting with LA's KDAY radio station.
Why, can I say something?
Yeah, 1 second. Wait, hold on 1 second. SKG, what's up? What's up, mama? What you got to say?
And another thing is when they talk about development options, and this is where it's like Black women are never protected. When I got beat up and I got jumped on, I got there from development options. So it wasn't just Big U, it was also Bear Claw. So it wasn't just Big U, it was also Bear Claw.
In her newest version of the story, SKG now implicates Bear Claw, a name that just so happens to be tied to the federal RICO indictment alongside Big U in Operation Drawdown. But let's rewind for a second. When SKG first started speaking on this situation, she didn't say a word about Bear Claw. Her original story placed the blame on Fats and Nip, claiming they were the ones who set her up. Bear Claw's name never came up, not once, in those early versions. By suddenly asserting Bear Claw, she wasn't just going after Big U. She was strategically positioning herself to help discredit Developing Options, the non-profit organization tied to Big U and Bear Claw. Then to seal the deal, Porky sends SKG to No Jumper with Adam 22. And that's where she ties it all together, all the shifts in her story. She packages it in one big public hit piece.
Weeks had passed, Nipsey started calling me. So this is where I got mad at Nipsey because I'm like, did you set me up? So remember, I didn't see him no more after this meeting. Nipsey started calling me.
And this is probably what year?
2009.
Okay, so like 10 years before he passed, still super early in Nipsey's career.
Right. So I didn't see him anymore. So then a few weeks later, Nipsey's calling. He's like, sis, I need my posters. Because remember, I was doing Nipsey's campaign for him and I had all his posters. And I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come through. I don't end up coming through. He called me again, I need the posters. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna come through. I don't come through. He called me again. I finally decide to go through. When I go to him, now mind you, I still haven't talked to Big U. So I go to Nipsey's shop, I walk in the shop, him and Fats, they're out at the counter. I walk up, I'm talking to him and I just hear the click, click. And it was like I knew, that was that. I just knew. It's like, it's a setup.
Oh, wow. Click, click, like somebody had a gun drawn on you?
No, click, click. They closed the door, click,
they
click.
locked it, okay.
So they closed it, and then it was a thing where you can lock it, and I just heard the click, click.
Okay.
Once the door closed, you just know.
And so how's this play out from there?
Nipsey and Fat dropped their heads. And so.
And at this point, because obviously people know that Nipsey and Big U ended up having this fallout that was mostly behind the scenes, it did come on records and stuff, but at this point, Nipsey's still all in with Big U. They're like super tapped in still.
Right.
Okay.
And so Nipsey and Fats, they dropped their head, and then Big U just jumped on me. And Bear Claw is with him. So the guy that's on his case with him, that's a part of Developing Options.
Uh-oh, we're going at the character and the contracts you got on there.
And so he just started beating on me. He's like, bitch, you disrespected me in the meeting. Bitch, you did this. I never stole nothing from this man. I never did anything that warranted for him to put his hands on me. He jumped on me because I stood up to him and would not let him dictate, extort, or control me. And because my bosses and colleagues rode with me.
I thought this was a scam until I got the $25,000 benefit, and I couldn't be happier. It's actually 100%.
Colleagues rode with me.
The best thing about SKG doing interviews is that she gives you a little more every single time. In her first interview, she came straight for Big U's character, claiming he beat her while she was pregnant, nearly killing her. But a few interviews later, she changed her play. This time, it wasn't just about character. She tried to go after Big U's contracts by inserting Bear Claw into the story and name-dropping Developing Options, the organization he's tied to. Then came No Jumper. She sat down, repeated the abuse claims, brought up Bear Claw again, and packaged the whole thing like it was truth. A full-blown narrative, built interview by interview. And now we've got yet another piece of the story. Something SKG never mentioned before. Let's listen closely, because the more she talks, the more she reveals.
Big U came back around. Big U came back around. Big U came back around. And I had this show idea.
So he
beat you. Okay, all right. He beat you up, but came back around with a show.
I let him do the apology, and he came back in.
SKG has gone from platform to platform, telling the world that Big U beat her while she was pregnant, nearly killing her and her unborn child. She says that happened back in 2009. But now, she's telling people that Big U apologized. And by 2014, they were back working together. If someone almost killed you and, in her own words, took everything from you, Why would you ever go back and do business with them again? That doesn't sound like survival. That sounds like a story that's falling apart. She had to reveal that detail because people started calling it out. Folks were asking the obvious. If Big U beat you in 2009, why were you seen with him in 2014? So now, she's scrambling to adjust the narrative, adding pieces that weren't there before, just to cover the cracks.
And then he tried to extort me again. And then he tried to extort me again. And then he tried to extort me again.
At what point in the process of you putting the show together?
Through the whole show.
Okay.
Through the whole show. And by this time, Wack knows about this. I have to deal with Live Nation. And read it. And see, I have receipts for that because I was going back and forth with Live Nation.
Sugar Free needs 15 passes and 7 all-access wristbands per his manager Ted. As far as indie acts, I'm still waiting on the full list. We just need a time slot from 8 to 9 for our acts. I have a stage manager who's going to flow our indie acts. He just did the Wiz show, which was a success. After that, you can map the show out how you need to. At this point, Corrupt may not come. I fear for my life because his manager, Big U, has threatened to harm my life, which I'm at the police station now. I'm a mother of 4 children. I don't take threats lightly, especially when I have an event to pull off. So if we can please accommodate Sugar Free, that would be great. And if Big U comes, I don't want him allowed in the venue around my red carpet, so I'm trying to hire off-duty police officers. Sorry for the inconvenience.
What day is that?
That is June 26, 2014.
Surprise, surprise. Now SKG has added extortion to her list of accusations against Big U. Considering Big U's indictment, it's pretty clear why she decided to throw extortion into the mix. The only thing is, we just heard Adam read a message that SKG sent from her phone. And even in that message, she never actually says Big U extorted her. What she does reveal, though, is that she was working with the police to keep Big U off the red carpet.
And that's from you to Paul. Okay. Damn. So even at that point, this was just like a constant.
It's been a constant thing, and that's what people don't understand. This isn't one thing. It's a constant throughout my career, throughout my life, just dealing with him.
Right.
Read this one real quick. I just want you to read that one.
Okay. This is from you again in 2014. Hello, Paul. I spoke with Compton AG's manager. He's confirmed I paid him in full for the show tonight, and I have a contract on him. I paid Corrupt $1,500 through his manager, Big U. If the rumor is he is not showing up tonight and I have a signed contract, I will sue him. Big U is making this very hard for me and is intimidating, extorting, and bullying. The only way Corrupt won't show up is because he said he couldn't. I'll be at the House of Blues at 2:30 today.
What year is that?
Again, same date, June 26, 2014. So, yeah, like, I mean, I forget, were you the one who's kind of saying that Big U and Corrupt have had this relationship over the years?
Yeah, very much so. Very much so. I mean, he beat Corrupt ass in front of Snoop and Daz. And Corrupt, if he want to deal with that and turn back around and say my brother, that's on Corrupt. But that's not love. That's not friendship. That's not loyalty. That's not normal.
Right. No, definitely. That's fucking wild.
So what am I doing this for? I need to be free. I need to be free of this trauma that this man has caused and feel like he's got away with, and then still threatening me. Like, shit's not sweet, bro. I'm not scared of you no more. You come, anybody come try to hurt me, it's gonna be way different this time, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. And that's the time I'm on and my team is on. Because you got a past. You did stuff to me, and on top of that, I was molested when I was younger. And this is another thing. He went and teamed up with the person that molested me for them to taunt me. That's all. I haven't even told nobody about that.
Oh my God.
He thought with the person, like, people have no clue what I really go through. You feel me? It's just chin up, because I'm strong. This man has done so much stuff. And WAC 100 And WAC 100 was the first to post my story.
Then the female FKT. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Was the first to post my story. And when he posted my story, WAC 100 was the first because Tasha K, I gave her the interview first. She posted it after WAC because it was a scheduling issue. WAC posted it, and I've known WAC for 20 years. We've all known each other the same amount of time. So if it wasn't for WAC 100, I don't even think I would be as strong because WAC, people could say what they want about him. He's for right.
Then the female FKT. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
Yeah.
No matter how it look, he's for right.
Now, he went to bat for you, for real.
I want to say first shout out to WAC because WAC didn't know anything. Poor WAC. WAC didn't even know what was going on.
Then the female FKT. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
And WAC had my back so much. And, you know, people try to give WAC a bad rap. WAC is really a good person. And I was crying and he was like, I'm on the phone with the bail bondsman. He called the bail bondsman, called my family, called my kids, stayed in tune, made sure I got out of jail. He's just really been someone that has had my back throughout this whole ordeal.
Then the female FKT. We're going at your character and the contracts you got over there, boy.
If you're a gamer, have you ever thought about quitting everything just to pursue gaming? Well, here's a quick hack on how to pursue playing video games
And actually learn game design or development.
If you don't mind, I'm about to go game a little bit.